everyone, I'm joined by Jennifer Desharnais, the Director of Sustainability and Environment at ACI World. Thank you so much for joining me today, Jennifer.
Thank you very much. I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you. So would you first mind just telling our audience a bit about your role and what it means for ACI World?
Sure. So as Head of Sustainability and Environmental Protection, and as part of ACI, our main role is really to represent our members' interest in a variety of topics. In my case, it's really sustainability and environment, and to help airports, guiding them and listening to them and understanding their priorities, their challenges, and then working with them towards advocacy and best practice to help them through this journey.
Okay. So how are you working with airports to ensure that they are sustainably driven?
On so many different levels. So we cover all the range of sustainability topics. We work with a committee, so we're presenting airports from all of the regions. We also work a lot with the International Civil Aviation Organization on different committees. So we work on the advocacy side and we work on the technology side. We have different working groups and where we touch about all the main topics. So we're looking at energy transition, we're looking at ESG, we're looking at energy management as well. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So what are the biggest challenges you would say are facing sustainable aviation right now?
Well, I think one that I just mentioned, the energy transition, is definitely one of the main challenges in terms of a lot of demand, and we're trying to figure out how we're going to create, supply all that demand, and how airports are going to adapt to that. They need to provide the infrastructure for all these new technologies. So that's a very big challenge, different challenges in different regions. Sustainable aviation fuel, although airports are not directly involved in the supply chain, they want to participate and be able to be part of the effort to accelerate this. ESG, environmental, social governance, there's a lot more pressure nowadays, as you know, for airports, any company, but airports also to report on their climate, on their social and governance, to have their license to operate. So this is a very complicated landscape, and we're trying to navigate that with them.
Yeah. So why is sustainable infrastructure important? And what I mean by this is sustainable infrastructure in creating the infrastructure to house greener fuels. And how can airports adjust to sustainable infrastructure, so the smaller ones that don't really have a lot of land mass?
Okay. Well, it is important because, as I said, there's a lot of new technologies that are being brought forward. We're looking at electric battery aircraft, hydrogen aircraft. We need to think in consideration of safety, operation measures. We need to understand what it means in terms of regulation as well. So airports need to be able to act on that and to be ready to accommodate and work with their partners, namely the airlines, but the ground fleet as well. So they need to work on that, and especially they are also very close to their community. There's also opportunities for them to provide benefits with these new infrastructure that can bring more employment in their region. Quite often it's more challenging for smaller airports. However, some of them have access to more renewable energy, and that's where we focus a lot of our advocacy effort. We've just launched a new project with the World Economic Forum called the Airports of Tomorrow, and this is going to help to look at what are the needs in different regions in terms of infrastructure needs, what feedstock or what renewable energy is possible on site, small island development as well. We need to focus on that. So we're very conscious on this, and we're working on that. Yeah.
So how can you look to make green financing accessible and available to all?
Okay, well, this is a great question for the entire, I would say, industry. And again, we're working really closely with ICAO. They are being involved in talking with finance institutions. We are also doing our work where we're, again, with the Airports of Tomorrow, we're going to have a pillar that's going to look exactly at that and trying to come up with a finance toolkit that will be applicable to different airports with different circumstances in different regions. And we're also tackling on the ESG, we're looking at developing a framework that airports will be able to use, those airports that need it, the smaller airports mainly, that need a little bit more guidance, so that they can go to the financial institutions and have the certainty or that what they're reporting on will help them access this finance.
So my final question to you is, what is keeping you up at night?
Well, maybe not very original, but I feel like saying all of just what I've talked about. A lot of it is that there's so much ambition. We're the industry is really committed, the airports are really committed. I think we're at that point where everything is ready for us to act. We just need that push, the regulatory policy and the right framework to make it all happen. And it's wondering, when are we going to get there? I'm confident that we will reach our goals, but it is, a very big task. And it's my passion, so of course that's what's keeping me up.